2 times Gru was a jerk in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when they were both performing in the end of the movie. Clearly we can spot him misbehaving and playing stupidly with Maxime. Number 2, the second one was when Gru stole Maxime's song. It was kind of funny, but seriously when you think of it, it's very annoying. 2 times the Mega Minions freaked out in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when this particular minion asked Mel to do him a favor by helping him to make his coffee hot. Mel volunteered but later on freaked out. Number 2, Jerry's own situation was more like anger, because we can spot some minions bullying him regardless of the fact that he is a Mega Minion. 2 times the Mega Minions messed up in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when Tim first came in as a celebrity. He gave his fan a handshake, but later on leaving them with a hot slap on the face. Number 2, while Dave gave a minion the biggest handshake of his life that literally almost cost him his life. 2 times the minions disturbed Ralph in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when Silas was giving Gru and Lucy instructions. Beside them you can spot them disturbing Ralph by hitting him with a can on his head. Number 2, the second one was when he was peacefully sleeping on his own. Not so long the minions came without remorse, making a can to hit his hand, then later on messing him up. 2 times Gru Jr. interrupted Gru in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when he was about to drink his coffee. Gru Jr. popped a balloon which messed Gru up. Number 2, the second one was when he did the same for Gru when he was about to eat a banana. 2 times Poppy slay in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when we saw her dancing. Well, audience became so surprised when she began to shake her ass. It was so hot. Number 2, the second one was when her and Gru was having a normal chic chat, but to an extent her way of slaying made Gru get terrified.
She is terrifying.
2 times Maxime invention was so cool in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one was when we got to see his first invention, which was the cockroach mutation ray, which he didn't want Valentino to touch. Number 2, the second one was when we saw his ultimate cockroach flying rocket car, which was just so cool. 2 most expensive things Poppy father owned in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one was when we saw him with a very expensive BMW that is very cool and expensive. Number 2, he also owned an expensive customized air balloon, which is also very expensive. 2 times the Mega Minions teamed up in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one happened when Silas told them to embark on their new journey into saving the world. Without hesitation, they teamed up together. Number 2, the second one was when they lost courage to go save the world. After a little motivation from Mel, they teamed up and then put their head together without fear. 2 times Poppy threatened Gru in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, the first one was when she got to know his secret. At that moment she felt like she owned Gru, because she was literally intimidating him. Number 2, the second was when she sent a tricky invitation of threat to him. Poppy is such a maniac, but I still like her. 2 times Jerry was used in Despicable Me 4. The first one was when he was used to stop the harsh laser from Mel's eyes. Number 2, the second one was when FD particular minion was using Jerry head as a food warmer. Secondly, a minion used his teeth as an opener. 2 times Poppy got skills in Despicable Me 4. Number 1, immediately after she finished threatening Gru, you can spot her jump over the clip with skills.
Number 2, speaking of skills, when it comes to dancing, no one can literally compete with her. Okay guys, you all might think I am a hypocrite, but this is my last video with a thumbnail. Thanks for watching.
2 times Margo saved the day in Despicable Me 2. Number 1, the first one happened when the dragon came to hunt them down. With fear, Agnes screamed. Without hesitation, Margo came to save the day by calling out the minion army to attack the dragon. Number 2, the second one was when they were about to test a very risky magic trick on Edith. Without hesitation, Margo came to save her. 2 times Gru Pet was a jerk in Despicable Me 2. Number 1, the first one happened when Gru kicked him out to go disfuse himself on his neighbor's side. What he did was so funny. Number 2, the second one happened in Agnes' birthday when he dressed like a dragon. He was just so pissed off, especially when the minions messed up. 2 times Lucy was a badass in Despicable Me 2. Number 1. The first one happened when she pulled out on Gru, asking him to surrender to her because she's an anti-crime agent. Gru thought he was the only person with a cool gadget, but Lucy showed him. Number 2. The second one was when she pulled out a lipstick and then shocked Gru until he got unconscious. 2 times Gru was rude in Despicable Me 2. Number 1. The first one happened when he dressed like a fairy just to impress and make Agnes happy on her birthday, but surprisingly a girl asked a question that Gru found very annoying. With attitude, Gru answered,
How come you have...
Number 2. The second one happened when this particular woman was trying to match Gru with her imbecile sister. Gru got so upset and then gave her what she deserved. 2 times Lucy needed Gru in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one was after they finished dishing their meals. You can spot Lucy hand over Gru Jr. to Gru in order for him to take care of her. Number 2. The second one was when she was about to go somewhere very important. She handed Gru Jr. to Gru again. 2 times Poppy was a badass in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened when she was literally threatening Gru because she knew his secret and he wasn't ready to say the truth.
I own you.
Number 2. The second one was when Gru went to visit her, just for him to discover the fact that Poppy had a plan for them to go steal the honey badger, which was crazy.
Have you ever even seen a honey badger? They are vicious little monsters.
2 times Poppy was sophisticated in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened when Gru literally saved their life by activating the laser with his criminal techniques. Poppy was like, wow. Number 2. The second one was when Gru Jr. entered into the laser without control. As he was messing with the laser, Poppy got pissed off. 2 times Poppy was surprised in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened when Gru used a simple pin to open the glass door. Not until when the baby feeder helped him. Poppy was so surprised. Number 2. The second one was when Gru executed his plan on disabling the security camera with a diaper. Poppy was surprised because she didn't expect Gru to be that good. 2 times Lucy ruined the supermarket in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened when she used her cart to fall down all the canned food on the floor because she was frightened. Number 2. The second one was when she was being chased by the crazy lady. You can clearly spot her damaging the flour and then throwing butter at the lady without paying. 2 times Maxime was frustrated in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened at the gas station. When he was about to use his card to pay, the machine frustrated him by not reading his card.
Yes, very rapidly.
Number 2. The second one happened when Gru came to visit him in the cell. At that moment, Maxime felt like killing Gru because he was the pain behind his story. 2 times Margo was responsible in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one was when she took care of Gru Jr. and her siblings when Gru and Lucy went on their vacation. Number 2. The second one was on the first day of her school. Even though she was sad and upset, she still opened the door so Gru Jr. can be comfortable. 2 times Edith had mixed emotions in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one was when she was just so excited because this was her first karate training class.
Blair and Brittany, right? We will!
Number 2. The second one was when she got so angry and pissed off because Gru was literally packing out of his own house. 2 times Lucy trusted Gru in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one was when she told him to get some milk for Gru Jr. Surprisingly, Gru bought all the milk in the supermarket. Number 2. The second one was when she literally left Gru with Gru Jr. because she trusted him as a sweet and good husband. 2 times Poppy was too young in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one was when Gru was bringing out the necessary equipment. When she saw the pin, she was so confused, not until Gru used it. Number 2. The second one was when Gru was educating her on the importance of the injection used to control the honey badger. 2 times Lucy was so kind in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened when she initially dropped off Agnes and Edith to their training class, plus she also played with them, which I found very cute. Number 2. At some point, Lucy always got Agnes back because throughout the movie, she has been the only one that has been consoling her whenever she's sad. 2 times Agnes was a baby in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. The first one happened in the grocery store when Agnes remembered about her pet because she saw his feed.
friend.
Thanks, Mom.
Number 2, the second one took place at the end of the movie. We can spot Agnes sad because she was missing her pet.